Welcome back to the Slide Job Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Smith, here joined by co host Brandon Bull Davis and co host Ben Miller. Fellas, before I ask you how your day was, I want to let everybody know that if you don't want to watch every single episode on YouTube, be sure to go check us out on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, on those if you just want to listen in the car while you're working out, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to look at our ugly mugs. You can just listen to us on any of those one platforms. But now I will turn the attention to Bull, who has had quite the day himself. How has your week been?
Man, it's been a great day. Me and the wife had a day out. Went to the Reds game. Went out to dinner. Um, did kind of a date day without the kids. Just kind of went out. It was a fun day. Reds got to walk off victory. So watched NASCAR yesterday. Even though the truck race was the worst race I've ever seen in my life. If Cup ever decides to go to Lime Rock, I may riot in the streets of Charlotte, but that's for a different talking point. But yeah, it's been a great weekend. How about you, Ben?
Yeah, for myself, it was a pretty good weekend. Didn't have to worry about any work. Went to a pool party. Got to watch the Reds, especially with that walk-off win today. That was definitely cool to watch. It was definitely disappointing that they lost yesterday after blowing a 4-1 lead, I believe. But yeah, and got to enjoy the NASCAR race. Arguably, I think the best race of the year. So yeah, overall, it was a pretty good weekend.
That's what the people are saying. Best race of the year. So let's talk about the best race of the year. Ben, I know you have a race recap prepared, so I'll let you take it away.
All right, so let me scroll up to the top here real quick, guys. All right, so here are our top 10 results from Atlanta. We have Chase Elliott, who breaks a 44 race winless streak dating back to Texas of 2024. So, first win of the year for the 9 group, followed by Brad Keselowski in second, Alex Bowman in third, Tyler Reddick in fourth, Eric Jones fifth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in sixth, Zane Smith seventh, Ty Dillon in eighth, Chris Buescher in ninth, and Carson Hocevar in 10th. And a couple of notable drivers to point out: Connor Zillage finishing 11th in his third career Cup Series start. So big shout out to Zillage. 12th, we have AJ Allmendinger. 14th, Ty Gibbs. Ryan Preece in 15th. Kyle Larson 17th. Kyle Busch in 21st. Bubba Wallace 22nd. Christopher Bell in 30th. Denny Hamlin in 31st. Ross Chastain in 33rd. Chase Briscoe in 35th. Joey Logano 36th, William Byron 37th, Austin Cindric in 38th, and Ryan Blaney finishing in dead last. But at the beginning of stage one, though, I mean, those Fords looked absolutely strong. I mean, especially with Team Penske and along with the Wood brothers, they were working really well with each other up in the front. Looked like they had the strongest cars early. And, of course, a caution came out for rain. And then after when we went back to green, we saw a crash that involved Bell, Blaney, Busch, Allmendinger, Larson, and Austin Dillon. And yeah, after that wreck, everybody's bracket was already busted. And Austin Cindric wins stage one. No surprise there, Mr. Super Speedway. And then just going into stage two, lap 69, there was a 19-car crash. I mean, half the field involved, a lot of great race cars. I mean, just a couple of drivers to point out that were involved in that wreck. Not all of them, but it was Chastain, Byron, Suarez, Hamlin, Briscoe, Cindric, Barry. The list goes on and on. And then the restart on lap 76, we saw some drivers who haven't won or are below the cut line who are in the top 10. I mean, we had guys like Gibbs, Nemechek, Herbst, Haley, Smith, Gilliland, Austin Dillon. List goes on. I had a feeling we were going to see a possibly a major upset. On lap 110, we have Riley Herbst, who was having such a great run. Crash collecting Todd Gilliland. There was lots of passing for the lead between Buescher, Bowman, Elliott, and Reddick. And the end of stage two was pretty good. I mean, we saw Tyler Reddick win stage two in a photo finish over Chase Elliott. By 1/1000th of a second. So, yeah, that was definitely cool to see. And then as we get into our final stage, On lap 176, SVG spins while running in the top 10. Another driver who was having such a great run. And then a couple laps later, on lap 185, Bubba Wallace spins down the backstretch, one of our bubble drivers, and Eric Jones had a late spin on lap 195. And with 34 laps to go, we saw Justin Haley get spun by Ty Dillon, though. I mean, such disappointing to see that run come to an end. He was having such a great run going, looking like he was going to potentially pull off an upset. And as we get to 23 laps to go, Zane Smith passes Brad Keselowski for the lead. Smith was in position to pull off a major upset. Him and Stenhouse were flirting with the win in the closing laps. But in the end, on the white flag, Chase Elliott passes Brad Keselowski with help from his Hendrick Motorsports teammate Alex Bowman, and the siren going off in Dawsonville. Chase Elliott once again wins in Atlanta, his first win of the season. But overall, though, what a great race. So what did you guys think of it?
Bull, I'll let you start.
So I know, Ben, you mentioned best race of the year. I'm going to disagree. I don't think it was the best race of the year. I do think it was a great race. Don't get me wrong. I think it was. I love the race. The only reason I think it wasn't the best race of the year was because of stage one. I thought stage one was a little. The Fords basically ran away with stage one. I thought what made the racing so good was the beginning of stage two when we had the big wreck. We had we got all the contenders up there towards the front who aren't typically up towards the front, so they had a chance to go for the win. We had people up towards the front who don't typically go for the win, and they were racing their tail off, going for that win. And it brought a bunch of new people up to the front, and I think that made stage two and stage three great. But the only reason, like I said, I think stage one is what is going to hold me from saying that was the best race of the year.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I'm still not fully sold on what my best race of the year is, and I think this one's definitely a candidate for it. And I will say, as somebody who has pretty much dissed super speedways for the past 5 years, Atlanta has become one of my favorite tracks, and a track that is on the very short list of tracks I want to go to. Like, we're talking next fall, I may find myself watching some great racing, but um, it was incredibly entertaining. My main gripe has always been with super speedway racing from pretty much the get go is it really doesn't matter until the last 5 laps. That is pretty well the case here at Atlanta still. But the thing of it is, it's so much more fun than, in my opinion, Daytona and Talladega on the first 150 laps there, 195 laps there, whatever, because it's constant movement. There is no stability in the lead. In those races, you tend to get into a double file, single file line, and once you get there, there's no passing. There's just this lane gets a run, and maybe they come down, maybe they don't clear, and like it's still interesting, sure, and I totally get why people like it. It's just not necessarily my type of racing. This is more my racing because how many times did we see Alex Bowman get right up to Brad Keselowski there at the end and get right down, get a run, fly to the inside, go around, and then the next lap, Brad Keselowski did the same thing, or he did a crossover move. Is there even crossover moves at Daytona or Talladega? Because I sure as hell haven't seen one in a long time.
Not at all.
This is a unique type of racing that I don't think we have seen, at least in my lifetime, anywhere, and I love it. I'm here for it. I was one of Atlanta's biggest haters when it all started because it's another super speedway. I don't want that. And I have completely flipped on it and am pleasantly thrilled with it. And I'll tell you what, I will be making sure that I do not miss another Atlanta race, another second of an Atlanta race if I can have a say about it. And like I said, next fall, the discussions have already started to get me down there in Atlanta. So
that stage three battle between Bowman, Keselowski, Reddick, and Chase was great racing.
Absolutely.
Even the broadcast said you don't want the lead when you take the white flag because
correct.
because even it was every corner they were swapping the lead. Uh, Brad Keselowski, I think 3 or 4 times, him and Bowman did the crossover move on each other uh,
Yes.
a couple different times.
Yeah.
One of them would get a run, take the lead. The other one would get a run, take the lead. I mean, it was great racing. Don't get me wrong. But I think, like I said, I think what made the racing so much better was all those other guys wrecking out. I think that's what helped the racing.
Yeah. And there was a little more stakes on this race. I'll kind of go into that, and then if you guys have anything else you want to wrap up, feel free. There was the in-season challenge. I will be honest, I tuned in about halfway through the race, and my mind wasn't really on it because I had just sent Josh all those picks and wasn't really thinking about it. And I can tell you what, these next couple weeks, I don't really have much to think about because my bracket is cooked.
Same here.
Yeah, I think everybody's is.
Yep.
I'll run through it really quickly, and I'll give a little nod if I actually predicted this correctly. First of all, Ty Dillon, the last seed, the 32nd seed, knocks off the 1 seed Denny Hamlin. Brad Keselowski, the 17th seed, knocks off Kyle Busch, who I think I had in my final four. Alex Bowman knocks off Logano. Bubba Wallace actually survives and gets Suarez. I think that's the first one I got right. Nemechek and Barry. Nemechek gets the win there. I gave Barry the nod because he was Penske. Elliott, my champion, is still alive. Thank the Lord. Eric Jones and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. advance. I believe I had Stenhouse, but I definitely had Chastain over Jones. Gregson, Priest advance over Byron and Briscoe, two heavy hitters out there. Blaney gets beat by Hocevar early. Reddick takes down Larson, which was one of the probably bigger first round matchups. McDowell, somebody I had making a deep run because of the road courses, he gets knocked out by Allmendinger. Ty Gibbs survives Justin Haley. Honestly, Haley probably would have had that if not for Ty Gibbs wrecking him. Wonder if Ty Gibbs had that in his mind when he wrecked him. Anyway, Zane Smith had a great day and knocked off Austin Cindric, who wrecked out. And Chris Buescher survives Todd Gilliland. So I don't have my exact numbers, but I know I had Buescher. I know I had Chase. I know I had Bubba Wallace. Everything else I think is legitimately wrong here. Maybe I had I did not know. I definitely had Byron, right? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But do you guys want to chime in with how you did? Bull, I'll let you start.
So I got 9 of the 16 matchups correct. And my 2 finalists are still in it. I had Reddick and Elliott in the finals. But I am all in on Ty Dillon now. This is coming from a Denny Hamlin fan. But the comments from Ty Dillon of all you Denny Hamlin fans, I just beat your favorite driver. That was fantastic. That is what NASCAR needs. NASCAR needs more stuff like that. That is what the in-season challenge needs. That is NASCAR drivers showing their personality. That is what I love about NASCAR, and I am all in on Ty Dillon upsetting Brad Keselowski next round and making a deep run. I am all in on Ty Dillon now.
Very possible at a road course too.
Yeah, I can definitely see Ty Dillon knocking off Brad Keselowski. As far as my bracket, though, I mean, I didn't do the math at the top of my head, but majority of them I got wrong thanks to that big pileup. But just going back to Ty Dillon real quick, just like you, Bull, I absolutely love that quote when he gave that interview, saying that to all you Denny fans, I just beat your favorite driver. I thought that was one of the best quotes ever. And it's definitely nice to see some personality flare a little bit in this in-season tournament. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how round 2 will go in Chicago, though, because a lot of things can happen. I mean, it's a street course, and a lot of people view that as a wild card. And it's definitely going to be interesting down the road for sure.
Well, I just read the list and did the math because it was pretty damn easy. I got 4 right. I said it to Josh. I don't know if he said it on the podcast, but putting Atlanta at the first race is an absolutely diabolical move because Chase Elliott needs to win, or else I'm just packing it up for the next in-season challenge. But still, very exciting.
So I was looking on the NASCAR website. They
Mhm.
have the results on the leaderboard.
That's what I'm looking at.
Charles D is in
Yeah.
first place with 276 points. How did you predict that madness? I
Wow.
mean, I got to give him props.
Got to give
Charles
him props,
Charles D.
Charles. Charles, if you're watching, come on the pod. We want to hear how you did it. We want to hear how you did it. Come
Yeah.
on down to the pod. We'll give you a platform. That's great. Yeah, I'm on the opposite end of that leaderboard. But speaking of leaderboard, let's look at the point standings because there was some shaking up that went down here on it. Chase Elliott, all it took was him to win a race in order for him to jump up to second in the point standings with about a 5 point lead on Kyle Larson, an even further lead on Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, and really all it takes is him to find another win at some of these tracks that he's good at here in the next couple of weeks to get back in the distance of winning. I mean, imagine if Chase Elliott just wins the regular season championship. What a story that would be. Maybe I'm
Definitely.
biased there though. Tyler Reddick in sixth place got up one because he was actually able to finish the race. Blaney falls down to seventh. Chastain stays in eighth. Chris Buescher up 2 spots. He's somebody that we were really worried about on that cut line. He is up 2 spots to the ninth spot, but only 1 point back of Ross Chastain. And then just 5 points back is Chase Briscoe. He's got a win locked in. Reddick is now the highest person without a win in sixth place. And then Alex Bowman benefited from getting that second place finish, I believe, second or third.
Third.
Third place. He
Yep.
got 12th in the standings now. And then there's a little bit of a buffer between him and Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace in 13th. Ryan Preece stays in 14th. Eric Jones, he wrecked, but still got up to 16th in the point standings. Hocevar was able to finish the race and get 18th. Barry falls down 3 spots to 19th. He's got a win, though. Kyle Busch down 1 to 20. Ricky Stenhouse finished the race. He's up in third, up 3 spots to 21st. But all of this is within, all those 3 to 4 people I mentioned are within 10 points of each other. I mean, that's how close this battle is right now on the cut line. But that's not even the cut line. You got to get up all the way to about Bubba Wallace or Ryan Preece to see the cut line yet. Ty Gibbs goes down a spot, which is actually interesting, I guess, because Ricky must have finished in front of him. Brad Keselowski is up to 27th, considering he was sitting around 32nd for a while. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And that's really it for the notable movements in the standings. Ricky Stenhouse, Carson Hocevar, and Eric Jones, also Alex Bowman, were the big winners, making some headway on the cut line. So any comments you guys have on the point standings or final thoughts on Atlanta?
One thing I want to mention, looking at the actual playoff standings,
Yeah, that's a good point.
we have 12 winners now. If we have 5 more winners, you're going to need a win to get into the playoffs. Currently, I know we mentioned SVG was in 30 something in points. He would still be in the playoffs. If we were eliminating winners, Ross Chastain would be the driver eliminated. Uh, Looking on the NASCAR website right now,
Really?
according to the playoff standings.
Why?
Interesting.
According to the NASCAR website, he is currently the 12th place driver in the playoff standings. And they have SVG.
Is that because SPG has stage
He has
wins?
stage points. He has more stage points than SVG.
It should, but still,
No.
SPG should be the one on the cut line because he has the least amount of points.
Yeah, it should be like that.
That's how it is. He like if the playoffs were to start today, he would have more stage. He would have more playoff points.
Okay, so I'm looking at it wrong. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the playoff standings. They have
Yeah.
Ross in 12th.
Yeah,
and
Ross
SVG.
is technically in 12th, but if we were to have 17 different winners, Shane would be the one to get kicked out. I see that right now.
Okay.
So
But
yeah,
I,
that's just based off of playoff
I
points.
mean, we're getting to that point. There's currently what 7 more races?
Yeah,
Eight.
If I 8 more races
eight.
Yeah, 8 more races.
till the cut line, and we only need 4 more winners.
Yeah.
And there's
Tyler Reddick
still
still needs a win. Chris Busher, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Priest all could easily get wins over these next couple of weeks.
and there's still a couple wild card races. You got
Mm-hmm.
Daytona, the last race of the year. We got 3 road course races. You got
Hmm.
Indianapolis
Yep.
coming up. There's still a couple wild card races. We could definitely see 17 winners this year.
Absolutely.
And
For sure.
what did Josh? How many offer? Did
Josh
Josh say
said
20?
he said 20.
Okay, I don't know if we'll get there unless somehow the playoffs get us some, but
Yep.
we're getting pretty close.
Hmm.
Pretty close. Ben, any last comments or thoughts on the point standings or Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now that we look at the next 8 races, though, I mean, we got Daytona, we got 3 more road courses coming up, and plus, or 2 road courses and a plus a street course. So, yeah, definitely a lot can happen for sure. I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what these guys can do below the bubble to try to get themselves in position to get a playoff spot and get a win. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting for sure. A lot of things can happen in this time of the year in the season. So, yeah, cannot wait to watch it for sure. It's definitely going to be fun.
Yeah, and I would close by saying we still don't have a championship favorite in my opinion. Kyle Larson's looked great. Christopher Bell's looked great, but none of them have separated themselves from the pack. They've each had their little 5 to 8 race stretch, and they've been good outside of that stretch, but they haven't separated themselves from the pack really. I mean, Chase Elliott is second in the point standings. William Byron is first in the point standings. They each only have one win.
Hmm.
So it's still a completely wide open field right now for the championship, and that's fun. That's
Hmm.
fun. Not having we were expecting Larson or Bell to break out and win 5. I mean, I believe myself and Josh were saying 10 wins for Bell this year. Uh, does Bell even win one before the playoffs? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's obviously can. He's had the speed throughout the season, so I'm not trying to speculate that, but that's just how the races have been from a week to week basis here, and that's kind of a product of just how diverse the NASCAR schedule has become. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to Fly the Flag, all Atlanta based here. The first one is Atlanta is the best track on the schedule. Ben, what do you think?
Easily green flag on this one. I mean, just what we saw on Saturday night with the passing up at the front, a lot of action. Kept myself at the edge of my seat, and yeah, I definitely think that Atlanta is the best track on the circuit, and plus, it's my favorite racetrack ever that they go to. So, yeah, green flag for me.
Bull?
I'm gonna go yellow. If it was old Atlanta, I still love old Atlanta. Kevin Harvick, tire savings,
Mm.
the king of old Atlanta. But I still love Michigan, Kansas, Charlotte. So I'm gonna go yellow. I think it's definitely top 5, but I don't think it's the best.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna wave the yellow as well. I think that I still like the other style of racing a lot more. If we can get a good race at Michigan or a good race at Kansas, I'm way more down for that than a good race at Atlanta. But Atlanta is consistently, so I'm actually going to switch to the green because Atlanta is the one that is consistently putting out banger after banger races. So give me the green flag. Atlanta is the best track on the schedule. I may enjoy a good Michigan race more than a good Atlanta race, but I can guarantee you each Atlanta race I tune into is going to be a good race. So yeah, Echo Park Speedway, I'm sorry, is the best track on the schedule. The announcers were hardly even saying it. So
Yep.
and then there was a comment to this degree made on the broadcast. I remember hearing it last night. Atlanta has awakened a sleeping giant, and that sleeping giant may be Chase Elliott. Bull, what do you think, and why is it an overreaction?
I I don't. I'm gonna say the green flag. We've talked about it all year on this podcast. He is consistently You've had him in your power rankings. Josh has had him in his power rankings. He's consistently averaging top 10 finishes. He just hasn't been able to get the win. He's been like Blaney, had the fast car, just hasn't been able to get the win, but he doesn't have the DNFs like Blaney does. So now that he has the win, I think he can turn it around. There's not really much to turn around except for crossing the getting the checkered flag. But I think it does. So I'm going to go green flag.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go green flag as well. I mean, like you said, Bull, he's been consistent all year. We've seen him up in the top 10, top 15. I mean, he's been getting all these top 20 finishes all season long. But when you look at the last few weeks, going back to Mexico City, where he finished third, and then he followed that up with a fifth place finish at Pocono, and then he finally breaks through to get that win. So, yeah, I believe that after this win, I think we're going to see Chase Elliott try to continue that momentum a little bit. I mean, we go to Chicago this weekend. We got Sonoma in 2 weeks, and we got a couple other tracks coming up. So, yeah, I feel like this is going to be the start of something special, though, because I can definitely see that nine car being a championship threat for sure. So it'll be interesting to see. Can't wait to watch it.
And just to add on to that, these next couple tracks set up perfectly for Chase Elliott to do just what Christopher Bell did earlier in the season.
Oh, well.
Wouldn't that be something?
You guys just gave me a shot of adrenaline. I wasn't expecting this much this much green here. I was gonna go on the side of yellow, but you've changed my mind. Green flag, because you know what? Chase Elliott started out his career with a very similar issue he found himself in over the past year. Great finishes, consistent speed, not much DNFs, but couldn't get the win. What happened? He won that race at Watkins Glen. He rattled off some more wins to finish the year. Chase Elliott is older now. I think he still has that, maybe that pattern, and he's broken through the ice. So watch out, rest of the field. Watkins Glen's still on the schedule, guys.
Yep.
Watch out. I need that because of what happened last Sunday.
I,
But
I was going to ask you, how does that win Sunday help you mentally recover from what happened last Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
it was surely a gift from the gods. They were like, yeah, we'll take away what would have made you the happiest person on earth, and we'll make you close to the happiest person on earth. But a Chase Elliott championship another one, Chase Elliott championship would get me pretty close to where I could have been. Don't even get me started now. My brain is spiraling. Let's go to the last fly the flag, though. And this one isn't really something I've heard, but it's something that I know is rumored. There's been talks of Texas potentially going in this direction, and an unnamed track potentially going in this direction in the future. So we should have more super speedways on the schedule. And I'll start it off by saying red flag, red flag. I got a red hat here. Red flag. All right. Super speedways are special because they are in a box. You have them in a small amount of time. We don't need 8 super speedway races. We don't need 7 super speedway races. I would argue we don't need 6. We're not going to take away 2 Daytona dates or 2 Talladega dates. At this point, we can't really take away 2 Atlanta dates, so I get it. But you don't need more. You need the opposite of more. Less is more. And that's something that I think NASCAR fans, NASCAR themselves should figure out. That's my 2 cents. Bull, take it away.
So I'm going to go yellow. I'm not going to go all the way green, but I think Texas needs a change. We talked about Atlanta being the best track on the circuit. I think Atlanta is the worst track. Or I'm sorry, I think Texas is the worst track on the circuit. So I think it definitely needs a change. But the rumored track, the unnamed track, according to Twitter, I've seen people mention that it could be Kansas. And I am not for anybody touching Kansas. If anybody touches Kansas, I will be rioting in the streets of Kansas. That will get me. That will get me to, or that will get me to the streets of Charlotte with a picket sign outside NASCAR headquarters rioting. But I think we had one more. I think if we had one more uh, this style of Atlanta race, not a Daytona or Talladega style, but if it was an Atlanta style, if we went to 7, if it was at Texas, I don't think it would kill. I don't think it would kill anything because personally, I do like the all the aspects of NASCAR. I'm one of the fans. I do like the short tracks. I like the road courses. I do want all the disciplines that NASCAR has. So I do want all those aspects.
All right.
Ben, what do you think?
I was kind of going back and forth on this one for the last few minutes, but I think I'm going to go red flag on this one. I feel like we have enough super speedways on the NASCAR circuit. I mean, I like the fact that we um, go to Daytona beginning of the year, and then we end the regular season off at Daytona. And Talladega, I think it's perfectly fine. And Atlanta, we saw last night, we have that in the summertime. So I feel like as of right now, we're good on the super speedways. I don't feel like we need to add any more. So yeah, that's my take.
Hear me out. What if we reconfigure Texas to be old Texas or Atlanta?
Yes.
Please.
As long as we do something with Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I did kind of like that point. Texas has been kind of somewhat of a boring type of racetrack, but it would be kind of what's that?
Very boring.
Very boring, yeah. But yeah, in a way I would like to see them talk about that idea to turn Texas into Atlanta because I feel like in a way that might produce some good racing, but like I said, as of right now, I just feel like with the super speedways we have right now, I feel like as of right now we don't need to add any more. So yeah, I think we're good on that.
Make Texas a pentagon. I don't know. Something. Do something. Overreaction time. I want y'all to bring at least one overreaction from Atlanta. We talked about some of the overreactions around the garage, but what is the one that you are bringing, Bull?
Colton, I kind of gave you a heads up about this one.
You did.
For my overreaction, I'm going to take you back to the year 2006, 2007.
Whew.
JJ Yaley
Uh
was racing for JGR.
No, no. Oh, no.
Was racing for JGR, made 78 starts, and was fired. Made 78 starts and was fired for not winning a race. You know who made their 90th start yesterday and has not won a race?
Gibbs.
I would assume Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs made his 90th start in JGR equipment and has not won a race. So if Yaley was fired for 78 starts in JGR equipment, what are we saying about Ty Gibbs? He has 90 starts in JGR equipment without a win. I think it's time to have that conversation of Ty Gibbs needs to be fired.
Can I I agree with your conversation. However, comparing Ty Gibbs to JJ Yaley is one of the comparisons of all time. Considering not only did Yaley have no wins during his time there, he only had 6 top 10s over 2 years and 1 top 5.
The reason I compared is it is the JJ Yaley had the longest streak, a winless streak in JGR equipment, and now it is held by Ty Gibbs, which he actually broke it in March of this year, and he keeps extending it. He has now extended it to 90 races without a win.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's a wild stat.
That is a wild stat, but yeah.
Mhm.
I've given a lot of Ty Gibbs flack. I will not compare him to JJ Yaley. I cannot go that far. Ben, what's your overreaction from this week?
Yeah, I think my overreaction is think of it at the top of my head. I feel like I know I wrote him off a couple weeks ago. Tyler Reddick. I um I just have this feeling from what we saw yesterday. He was out front. He led 18 laps. I mean, this is the best finish he's had in, I believe, over 2 months. And like I said, I know I wrote him off a couple weeks ago after his performance in Mexico City, but I have a feeling though this is after that race last night in Atlanta. This is going to be a good opportunity for him to flip the page and try to get that season going a little bit. And who knows, maybe he might be competing for some wins. I mean, we got Chicago next week, we got Sonoma the race after, and yeah, I feel like I'm not. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to ride aboard the Tyler Reddick train just yet, but I just have this feeling that we're gonna see a turnaround. We're gonna see a turnaround in this 45 team starting this weekend in Chicago City, or Chicago Street Race. Excuse me.
I would like to hop on the train of RFK right now. How about them? Just executing very well here over the past couple of weeks. I believe the stat I saw on the broadcast was three straight races with them all in the top 10, which considering Mexico was in that category. Maybe that was the second straight race. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, RFK has been fast. They have taken a void kind of left by Trackhouse underperforming, by 2311 underperforming. RFK started the year a little rough. They
Mm-hmm.
found their stuff. Brad Keselowski is looking good again. Christopher Buescher is competing for wins. He was competing for a win at Pocono. He was competing a couple weeks ago at Michigan. And Ryan Preece is the solid driver, just getting the results that I expected him to be when he was in the 41 and even the 47. So it's nice to see Ryan Preece finally realize his potential. Some recent news has us questioning the future of that 60 car. Unfortunately, they might lose that charter thanks to the whole Rick Ware Racing deal. We might talk about that once we get more information about it down the line. But all in all, as far as I see, RFK, watch out. Watch out. Busher's good at the road courses. Busher is good at pretty much every track, but
Yeah.
he shows race winning speed at the road courses. We still have some Super Speedway races, which RFK has always been good at, even at their lowest point when they were Roush. So that's my overreaction, is that RFK is going to make the Final Four.
All right.
And we agreed to go ahead and skip power rankings this week because, good Lord, I don't even know where to start. Like, yeah, we're not even going to go down that path. So we'll go ahead and spare you of our power rankings for this week. Give everybody a break on that. Josh had an outstanding week in the Fast Five. I have not done the points yet, but Ben, watch out. He might have legitimately scored 70 more points than you.
I
So
mean, after seeing that big wreck where it wiped out half the field, I knew in the standings I was going to be screwed.
yeah, I was down to Priest and Hocevar, and they both just kept on crapping their pants. I think Hocevar snuck out a top 10, but
Yeah, all I
um,
got all I got was Stenhouse this weekend.
yeah, Josh had Chase, and he picked Chase to win, so there's like 50 points there. He had Bowman, that's 15 on top of that, so 65. I'm doing the math right now. Byron, I think Larson still got a top 20, so there's some more points. Like,
Yep.
and Busher got a top 5, so there's another 15. Yeah, yeah. I don't even want to do the points this week. What if we just said that we never posted it? Oh, Josh would kill us. But I think that's all we got for today without the power rankings. So I'll go ahead and throw it to you guys. Is there any last thoughts you guys want to wrap up before we move on? And Bull, do you have your guest this week, or
I do not.
all right?
It's
That's
been a
fine.
busy day.
Busy
Uh,
day. Yeah, I
one
understand.
more thing that I want to point out. Uh, Flashback to last week. Ben mentioned in his overreaction Cole Custer, how great a success he's having at Atlanta. I want to mention he started 7th, was able to miss all the wrecks, and still was able to salvage a 19th place finish. If Ben pulls a victory out of Cole Custer, we are fighting.
Ben, I'm going to get that golden horseshoe out you where the sun don't shine.
So
watch out for that 41.
So point being, he called Tyler Reddick to this week. So in the Fast Five, somebody better pick Tyler Reddick before Ben does this week.
I'm writing that down. I'm writing it down. Tyler Reddick. All right, we got that written down. Yeah, that's a great point. Bull, though, who do you have winning at Chicago this week? So I know not to pick.
Well, as much as it pains me to say.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. I know where this is going.
He's going to counteract it.
As much as it pains me to say, I got to go with SVG.
There you go.
Oh, no. Bull, you were the chosen one.
I'm hoping some reverse psychology, something works in my favor. He wrecks lap 1, blows up.
There's going to be some broken stuff if SVG wins a race.
But he's so good at those. I just cannot. He's my least favorite driver on the circuit. But he's so good at those. He's hard to beat.
Yep, he's definitely going to be a factor this weekend or next weekend in Chicago for sure.
All right. Well, now that we got all of that out, I think it's about time we wrap up the old podcast. So thank you for listening. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy. Be sure to check us out on social media, Facebook, X, Twitter is the same thing. TikTok is what I was trying to say, and Instagram. We're on all of those now. I mentioned at the beginning, check us out on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, we're probably there. And be sure to follow myself on Twitter at LSC__99, Ben at Ben Miller PXP, and Bull at Bull_81818. Thank you guys for coming on to the show, and we will see you guys on Friday. Peace.